Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all having a good Thursday. Getting close to the end of the week now. Getting close to Newcastle's first pre-season game of the season against Gateshead on Saturday. I am excited for it, but it has caused a bit of a reaction from Newcastle fans on social media today as Newcastle obviously released the tickets. Well, Gateshead released the tickets at £20 a ticket for an adult. It was released today by Newcastle that if you wanted to stream the game, so if you want to sit at home, couldn't get to the game, or maybe couldn't get a ticket, or maybe live further afield, you can stream the game, but for $9.99. And it has had quite a reaction from Newcastle fans. Lots of people calling out Newcastle for it, saying that that's an outrageous price to pay to watch a friendly game against a lower league side. So I thought I'd jump on here and talk to you guys about it as well. But I wanted to open it up a little bit further. That's right. And talk a little bit about Newcastle owners, pricing, and Newcastle in general, and have a debate. And look, there's no answer. There's no right answer. You could turn around to me at the end of this and go, you know what, Rob? Yeah, maybe the pricing is a little bit too expensive. Or you could turn around and say, Rob, we've got the richest owners in the world, and to spend money, you have to make money. It's all FFP, and at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want. And what I will say is, regardless of how much they charge, I'm still going to pay it. I'm still going to go. I am lucky enough to go to the Gateshead game. If I wasn't going, I would have paid the tenner to watch it on the stream as well. And I am going to the Cellar Cup. I have paid for all those tickets that we're going to talk about. And I will be going to the Champions League and all the cup games this season as well. So at the end of the day, you let me know your thoughts on it down below, but in interest of Gateshead, as I say, it's understood that the tickets were obviously released. £20 a ticket, look, I'm excited for it. Closest away game I've ever been to, just over the river. I was talking to somebody today about how when Newcastle played Gateshead not so long ago, and Ginola was there making his debut. So yeah, it's a game that's exciting. It's going to be Metro over there. It's going to be good fun. And there will be a vlog of that on Saturday, so look out for it. I think it wasn't necessarily that caught the eye of the fans. It was in fact today when Newcastle released and Gateshead released that if you can't get to the game, you can stream it for $9.99, okay? And it has caught the attention of a lot of people. A lot of people saying it should be free. Newcastle have played friendlies, all around the world and have streamed it for free on NUFC TV. I think the Cellar Cup will likely be streamed, or some of those games will be streamed, and you think maybe a few more will as well this summer. But this one in particular is not. It's $9.99. So that was released. Newcastle media actually came out and clarified that all funds going from the paid streams will be going directly to Gateshead. And that was what I thought at first. That was what I caught the eye of, and I went, you know what? It wasn't so long ago. Gateshead were looking like they were going to lose the stadium, they were going to lose the team altogether, and for a lot of people who live over in Gateshead support Newcastle. It's not too far away. It's only over the river. It's a pretty close by club. I've been there a couple of times. I was there last season where I actually saw them win the game. I think it was 3-0 and it scored an amazing goal from outside the box. I've been there a couple of times. I remember when I was a kid doing bloody 100-metre runs at Gateshead Stadium. So yeah, it's not far away, and it's nice that we were collaborating to run out for the players. Obviously, if you're paying the ticket price, you're getting to not just go watch a friendly against the Gateshead side, you're getting to go and watch a friendly in a stadium you probably have never watched Newcastle in before. So I think with that price comes with something. I think $9.99 to just sit at home and watch it is a little bit much. But, hey, if the ticket prices are going to Gateshead, if the price for the streaming service is going to Gateshead, then everybody's a winner. Not quite. It's being reported, and this is why it's also had a bit of a turnaround, that because Gateshead are streaming it through the National League streaming service, they reckon they only get 6p a stream, which obviously isn't great. Now, in terms of Newcastle, I would say this isn't their fault. They've tried to do a good thing here. They're giving all of the match revenue, all of the ticket revenue, all of the pies and beer revenue, and all of the stream revenue. It's not Newcastle's fault that the National League are taking all of the money. Reportedly, I should say. It's understood, or I understand it to be, or it's reported that is the case. In hindsight, could Newcastle have streamed it? Gateshead aren't set up to have their own NUFC TV like we are. You know, could Newcastle have set up their own version and gone, pay us a £5 and then give every £5 a Gateshead? Yeah, that would have been good. But if they had done that, everyone would have gone, what the hell, Newcastle are charging a £5 for the gates? So, you know, yeah, it possibly hasn't been delivered quite as well as it should have been, and that's the reaction. So, yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to pay for it, I suppose, is the answer. And then, as I say, I would pay for it. But yeah, I don't think this Newcastle have done this too much wrong. I mean, if anything, Gateshead should have been charging 50 quid, and then maybe they would have got 50p out of every stream. So yeah, I think that's kind of the reaction that's come from there. So you let me know your thoughts on that one down below. I think going further into kind of ticketing prices and queries, I mean, look, the Champions League prices came out. People weren't overly keen on those either. There was a question mark of £55 a ticket. I spoke about this one at the time, and when you say 160 quid for 3 games, you go, oh, that's a bit of money there. But I mean, it's £45 for a Premier League game. So if you're paying an extra £10 for a Champions League game, I don't think they're that far off with that one. What actually caught my eye on those games was actually the Carabao and the FA Cup. If you think of those 2 games as being a chance for maybe people who don't normally get to the games, maybe even families who want to go out, you know, the lads are going to take their, you know, the families out instead of just going with their mates for a change. It's not season ticketed. You can grab a ticket. Talk about, you know, when Newcastle couldn't even open the top tier because there wasn't enough seats. You talk about £5 concessions, £10 adult tickets, and now we're talking about £20 Carabao Cup and £30 FA Cup. £30 for an adult, £15 for a concession. Now you're going, hang on, you know, that family ticket of, you know, for a juice and a burger and a ticket and a day out, a day out is now costing, you know what, 90 quid for 2 adults and 2 children for a friendly game and sorry, not a friendly game, for an FA Cup ticket, and you're going, you know, that wasn't quite the case so long ago, and same with the Carabao Cup, and that's based, by the way, that's based on any team. You know, we could play, you know, a non-league side, we could play a lower league side, or a team that maybe people just aren't interested in seeing us play against. All of a sudden, those prices are going from £5 Carabao Cup getting people in the door to now £10, £20 Carabao, £10 concession. So now you're looking at quick maths, a £60 evening out plus food and drink for a Carabao Cup game, you know, against any club. And you could turn around to me at this point and go, well, yeah, Rob, because we got to a final, people are going to buy the tickets regardless because they need to make sure they've got their ticket points. If we get to Wembley, they can definitely get a ticket this time. And I think that is part of it. I think it's also part of it that there's a high demand. And what do you do when people are desperate to get through the door, I suppose, is put the prices up a little bit. And that's the thing, that's where the connection is, that's where the question mark is, and you guys need to tell me down below. Are Newcastle right to go, well, you know what, we got to a final last time, and demand is as high as it's ever been. So let's just chuck those prices up a little bit higher. We'll get a little bit more money coming in, which will help towards buying players, stadium expansions, painting the bloody car park, you know, everything counts right now. Or do you think, well, no, actually, those were times when we could never get to the Premier League games. Now I can't even get to the Carabao games because the price has gone up and I can't afford to actually take the family there. You know, so you let me know your that one on the cup games down below. Seller Cup. I've just spoken about, obviously, the idea that an FA Cup ticket of £30 is for an adult, is, you know, a cup ticket, you know, it's an FA Cup. Hopefully it's a good team. Hopefully it's a chance to get through to a later round. You know, what if I said to you now that it was a friendly game and it was £30 for an adult, 2 adults and 2 children, and it was 90 quid for a friendly game? You know, you would say that's a lot. Well, that is what it is for the Seller Cup, and it has been painted up a little bit differently because the first game on the Saturday, obviously there's 3 games going on. There's hang on, I did write it down. Nice versus Villarreal, followed by Newcastle versus Fiorentina, and then the women's team play as well. If you want to, you know, call it that cup game, and you are, sorry, the tournament, you are getting 3 games out of it, you know, but how many times have you seen the Newcastle, you know, men's team? You know, once, and it is against Florentina had to read it again. You know, if those games were against Barcelona and Real Madrid and it's a friendly game against some big high caliber team, it's like, oh my God, I want to get there. You know, you think when we played Atalanta and name escapes me, but Lejeune played for them last friendly. You know, we didn't sell that out. You know, I think that possibly got in around 40,000 over the 2 days, which by the way is amazing. You know, for a club to sell out, you know, have the majority of the stadium full over 2 days. But bearing in mind that those games, I think they were £20 a ticket for a day. This time it's £30 for a ticket a day. So the price has gone up by a third, but you do get more games in it. Had Nice and Villarreal been Barcelona and Bayern Munich, I think nobody would be having problems with paying those prices. Because it's two teams that, you know, you tell me am I wrong, two teams that don't necessarily grab my attention massively, I will probably just go in and watch maybe the last 10 minutes of that one, catch the Newcastle's game, and then hopefully try and stick around for the women's game as well to support them too. But I would also say, you know, I would have probably gone on a different day and let the women have their own day. You know, to put them on the same day as the men's team, people haven't got all day. You know, I'll hopefully try and stay for the, as I say, if I'm going to pick 2 games out of those 3, it's Newcastle men's and women's. You know, I'm not going to, people will spend 9 hours in the stadium to watch all 3 games, which is great. But what I'm going for is to see the Newcastle teams in action. So, yes, put the price up to 30 quid because I'm getting that extra game. But if I was to take my family for the day, 2 adults and 2 children for just one friendly, that's 90 quid. You know? So, I don't want to go around in too many circles, but I think they should have given the women their own day. I would have probably gone on the day after. I go on the, you know, on the next day as well, or on the Friday night or something, to give the women's their own chance, and then don't just chuck them into this pot where people are paying 30 quid. Give them their own day, sell the tickets at £5 or a tenner, and sell the stadium out in their own right. Don't just kind of clump it all together. And I think that's why they've let Nice and Villarreal have a game. It's why, you know, Florentina and Nice are playing on the Sunday. You know, how many people are going early to watch that one, or are you just turning up for the Newcastle game in the afternoon? So, you know, you let me know down below. Are you going to buy those tickets and go? I mean, I've paid it. You know, I'm sitting here. I've paid the 55 quid. I'll go for the 2 games. If I was going to go for a 2-day trip with my wife and 2 children, hypothetical 2 children, although I do have a wife, that would be 160 quid for 2 days, two friendlies, you know. So you let me know your thoughts on that down below. The Seller Cup one, I'm not so sure on. I understand why they've done it, because there is multiple games. It's trying to grab more attention. It's trying to give it more of a cup feel. I think they will have a potentially you know, a prize at the end, or an actual cup to celebrate it on the Sunday, which I guess is nice. But I think there is some question marks there, and for people who, as I say, want to just go and watch their local team play. You know, I think there's probably people out there who would have rather paid, you know, a tenner, 15 quid, got to walk up to that ground and got to watch their own team. But instead, because it has been clustered into this cup game with some, as I say, not Barcelona's and Real Madrid's, some other teams, you know, it's kind of been lost on the pricing a little bit. So, yeah, you let me know down below. Am I barking up the right or wrong tree? You can tell me. I think there's rights and wrongs to both. I mean, at the end of the day, they will pull people in and they will make some hopefully decent money out of it. And when, as I say, they're putting in some new pints or some new taps on the bars, and it's more choice than just calling a Madri, I might be going, thank God for that Seller Cup. I can finally drink a decent beer, you know. So yeah, there's ifs, buts and maybes, but it's been a bit of a chat, this one. So you let me know your thoughts down below on the Gateshead scenario, which, as I say, I think it's 10 quid for a stream ain't great, but I don't think that doesn't sound like it's particularly Newcastle's fault. I think in terms of the cup games and the Champions League, I can kind of see where they're coming with the price, and to try and make it higher, but it's excluding. And then I think with the friendly as well, I think they've done it as an exciting way to do a Seller Cup. I just don't know whether it's going to get lost on people who maybe would have preferred to just have a lower price chance to go and see. You know, as I say, back to, you know, a single men's game or a single women's game, do them separately. Charge, you know, a third of the fee and then fill the stadium way higher and then just go for the day, enjoy your team, and, you know, maybe that's just me. But you let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching as always. I've really got on today, so if you have enjoyed it, drop a like. But really what I want is your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.